Hello, and welcome to California Gun Law. I'm your host, Don Hammond, with an update on Senate Bill 704. This is a new law that would require all transfers of firearm barrels to go through a firearms dealer commonly known as an FFL. We'll dig into the details of what the bill really says, the fees involved, when it will take effect, and what this all means. I'm a licensed California attorney and a shooting instructor. I regularly help teach the 16-hour class that's required to get a concealed carry license in California. On this program, we provide education on California's complicated web of gun laws so that responsible gun owners like you can better understand how to lawfully exercise their rights. California has a complicated web of ever-changing firearm laws and regulations, and there are a lot of traps for the unwary. We want to help you do it right so that you won't need our criminal defense legal services. It's gun legislation season in Sacramento, with a number of gun-related bills sitting on the governor's desk, awaiting a signature or a veto, or maybe they'll pass without a signature. Current bills that have been presented to the governor for signature include Assembly Bill 1078, Assembly Bill 1127, Assembly Bill 1263, and Senate Bill 704. Today, I'm going to discuss updates to Senate Bill 704. This is the bill that will require all transfers of firearm barrels to go through an FFL and be subject to a $5 background check fee. This bill passed both houses of the legislature, and it was presented to Governor Newsom for signature on September 17th. He has until September 29th to either sign it or veto it. If he does neither, the bill will become law without his approval. It would be a big surprise if he vetoes it, but we'll keep an eye out. The new law's restrictions and requirements are expected to take effect on July 1st, 2027. Throughout history, it's been perfectly legal to meet up in a back alley and give my new friend a firearm barrel, or to order a shiny new barrel on the internet and have it delivered to my door. There are a lot of aftermarket barrels out there for a wide variety of popular firearms. There are gold barrels, rainbow barrels, ported barrels, and all kinds of other barrels that are available that could be delivered to you tomorrow. This new law will effectively shut down the ability of a California resident to order a new barrel for their gun from an online retailer or directly from the manufacturer. Just like ammunition, pending the outcome of the Rhodey versus Bonta case, you would have to have the barrel shipped to an FFL and then pay the fee for the background check and then collect your barrel from that FFL. Of course, the bill also requires the purchaser of the barrel to show up in person at the firearms dealer, so even California gun stores can't run the background check remotely and then ship you the barrel that you want. Anyone will be allowed to purchase or acquire a firearm barrel as long as they're at least 18 years old and not prohibited from possessing, receiving, owning, or purchasing a firearm under California state or federal law. They just have to show up at an FFL to do the transfer and pay the background check fee. The FFL is then required to log the date of the sale or transfer, the purchaser's identifying information including name, address, phone number, and date of birth, plus the make, model, and caliber of the gun that the barrel is designed to be used in, and the salesperson information. And then the FFL has to submit all of that information to the California Department of Justice. There's nothing in the law that says DOJ will take the next step of comparing your barrel purchase to any firearms registered to you, but they would certainly have that capability. They might wonder why you need a Glock 19 barrel if you don't own a Glock 19. Of course, there's nothing illegal about buying or owning parts for guns that you don't own, but it might raise suspicion. The law will not require barrels to have a serial number or other identifying marks, so it's not really a barrel registration requirement, and there will be no way to track how you acquired a particular barrel if it's found to be in your possession. The enforcement mechanism applies when you want to transfer the barrel to someone else. It will be a criminal offense to sell, transfer, offer for sale, or possess with intent to sell a firearm barrel without going through an FFL. A first violation of this section will be a misdemeanor, punishable by up to 6 months in county jail. A second violation will still be a misdemeanor, but now punishable by up to a year in county jail. And a third violation may be a felony with sentencing of up to 3 years in custody. As usual, there are some exceptions to the new law. They include transfers to law enforcement, transfers during the same transaction as a firearm transfer, that makes sense, and transfers to the government during a gun buyback event. We all love those. This is all slated to take effect on July 1st, 2027. The initial background check fee will be $5 in 2027, and it may be increased by $1 every year thereafter. What I don't see in this new law is any reference to buying barrels out of state and bringing them into California. We see these kinds of restrictions on ammunition and on standard capacity magazines, but not on this new barrel transfer requirement. This bill was introduced back in February 2025, and I've been trying to figure out why they would specify barrels versus other firearm parts. Is this just a cash grab? Are they just trying to make life harder for gun owners? Then I was taking a look at another bill that recently passed the legislature and is awaiting the governor's signature. It's called AB 1263, regarding ghost guns and issues related to manufacturing firearms with 3D printing. And it dawned on me, what is the one gun part that will be most difficult to make at home with a 3D printer? It's a barrel. The legislature is trying to get ahead of the problem of people printing firearms at home, and they think that regulating the transfer of barrels will help curb that. Of course, someone with the money to buy a CNC machine could manufacture their own barrel, but there are other criminal issues associated with that. This new law on Senate Bill 704 will likely be challenged immediately by gun rights groups. A Bruin two-step analysis will apply. At the first level, a barrel is almost certainly covered by the Second Amendment. A firearm cannot operate without a barrel. I know, we made that same argument regarding magazines, and Duncan is now awaiting review decision in the United States Supreme Court. But particular barrels are required to operate a firearm, whereas a particular size of magazine is not required for the firearm to operate. So I think we have an even stronger argument here than we had with magazines. At the second level of the Bruin analysis, I'm confident that there is no historical analog to a law requiring transfers of barrels to go through a firearms dealer. Just like ammo in the Rhodey case, where the Ninth Circuit panel ruled in favor of gun owners, but that case is pending a request for en banc review. These cases that are already in the courts will provide guidance for litigation in upcoming cases, and I think the landscape is improving for gun owners. The danger of this kind of law, if allowed to stand, is the slippery slope. Today, they want us to essentially register barrels, or only transfer them through FFLs. Next year, they might want us to register magazines, or only transfer them through FFLs. What do you think? Will requiring barrel transfers to go through an FFL cut down on ghost guns? Are you going to stock up on barrels for all of your guns before July 1st, 2027? Let us know in the comments. And head on over to cagun.law for legal updates. I just posted some legislation updates in the news section, including the status of several bills, including Assembly Bill 1078, Assembly Bill 1127, and Senate Bill 704. And while you're there, be sure to pick up some cool merch to support the cause. I'm Don Hammond at California Gun Law, and we'll catch you all next time. Stay informed, stay legal, stay safe.